guess that's as good as I'm gonna get it. Test this out, see how it works. Today, I'm going to, oh my god, my camera is so not stable. I'm going to attempt to make a pumpkin pie the way that our ancestors did. Well, ancestors, that's kind of stretching it. The pioneers, where they did a pumpkin in the shell. And I'm on my way right now to go get the ingredients. So I will, when I'm not driving, because apparently I can't affix this to my dash like a normal person, I'll get the supplies and I will video after I get those supplies. Okay, tonight we're going to make authentic Pioneer pumpkin pie. I chose to use some pumpkins I got from the Mennonite store. These are called pie pumpkins. I'm going to use these because I know that they haven't been coated in any kind of wax or anything like that, like you might possibly find at Walmart and stuff like that. I've already washed them, and now I'm going to cut the tops off of them and gut them. Okay, as you can see, I've cored and diced up, well, they're kind of large dices of a New Zealand apple. I chose New Zealand because I like the color and flavor of them. They're a nice, sweet, tangy apple, and I'm sure you can choose any kind of apple you want. This is going to go in the content of the pumpkin pie. And I'm also going to add these currants, which was recommended on one site. Didn't know what a currant was. Apparently, it's like a grape. So, looks like a grape, whatever. So, okay. On to the next step. Okay, some sites spread to use sugar. Some said honey, some say heavy cream. Okay, I'm going to go with honey. And I'm going to use 3/4 cups of honey. I've got a local honey that I'm using called Countryside Hillbilly Bee. And I've got some actual raw milk, a pint of it. This one comes from Marley's Creamery here in Missouri. I'll be using about 2 cups of that. Most of the recipes call for heavy cream. So to make this a heavy cream, I'll be adding a tablespoon of cornstarch per cup of the milk. Also 2 eggs, which I've got from the neighbor's chickens. They're brown eggs, which I prefer, actually. Not that they are any really better than white eggs. It's just the yolks seem to be richer, so those always seem to. I just like them better. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna mix all these ingredients together, and the currants. The currants. Currants. I think I'm gonna do probably about a half cup currants, maybe a cup. No, I'm going to do a full cup of currants. No, the measurements aren't going to be exact. This is kind of an experimental thing, so just bear with me on this, guys. Okay, for the spices, I'm using ground cloves, ground cinnamon, and ground nutmeg. I'm going to do a teaspoon of each of those and add that to for the spices. Okay, so there's no definitive directions on how to bake these. One said to wrap them in foil after you've poured the contents in them and place them in a pan and bake them. Didn't give no degrees on the oven. Others said just to place them in the pan. I'm going to kind of do a combo. Gonna go how I used to do acorn squash. Kind of put them in a pan with a shallow bit of water in there. I am still going to do the foil around them, but I'm going to put the foil around it before I add the liquid, because I just can't see me trying to wrap foil around something after I put liquid in it, because I'm basically a slob. So, we know how that'll go. So I'm going to wrap this in foil, set it in the pan, and then I'm going to pour the contents in it. Don't know how I'm going to do this on video, so these are just going to be stop motions. You're not going to get to see me actually do it because I'm just not that good yet. Okay, so that was easy enough. Wrapped them in foil, set them right in the pan. Now I'm ready to pour my contents, wish me luck, into the shells. I'm going to try this one-handed. Said not to do it all the way to the top. You see how that's working out? 90% of the liquid went in, and most of the chunks didn't. So I'm going to have to spoon out, and I'm going to have to change up how I'm doing this. So I'm going to pause this while I fix this mess I just made. Okay, I have some severe doubts of how this is going to turn out, but pan's ready to go in. They say to cook it for an hour and a half. Got the oven set to 350. They said I should do the tops too, but you don't do anything with the tops. I think they're just for decoration. So I'm just going to put these in the oven and we'll see how things look in an hour and a half. Okay, hour and a half in, and we got a sweet little soup, which means something didn't go right. Obviously, I should have added like cornstarch or something. Maybe probably shouldn't have done a shortcut. Anyway, I've got a nice soup and baked up pumpkin. So I'm going to try this again tomorrow with a different recipe. See if that turns out. Right now it's too late at night. I don't want to do it. So we'll try again. Okay. It's been a few hours. I put this in the refrigerator overnight. To get this to thicken up, I had emptied the contents of the pumpkins into a pot and did a cornstarch kind of in water roux to thicken it up. I boiled it for a couple minutes and then dumped the contents back into the pumpkins. Then I refrigerated it overnight, and it looks like it's a lot thicker now, but I still don't think it's going to turn out like the thick custard that we had wanted. I'm going to put this in this glass container because I have a feeling this is going to be messy when I cut into it, because I have a... They say you're supposed to cut into it. I think I'm going to probably just spoon it out instead for the taste. We'll see once I dip into it. Okay, scraped a little side of the pumpkin off into the spoon along with the contents that we mixed up last night. It obviously didn't set. Looks more like a thick kind of pudding, but it's not like a custard. It's probably just going to be a tasty goo. So we're going to call this a fail. Okay, so my attempt at Pioneer Pumpkin Pie did not work like I had expected. I obviously made some mistakes in creating the custard. So the filling was goopy, and I had too much spice, so I would have needed to cut down on the amount of spice I put in. I probably would do without so many... I probably would have cooked the apples a little bit too, so they weren't so crunchy. I'd want more of a apple pie consistency. They weren't soft, they were too crunchy. And the currants were okay, but I think there was too many currants. And, you know, I think if I had gotten the custard correctly, it might have been a better result. But I don't like my results. I'm going to call this an overall fail on my attempt to make Pioneer Pumpkin Pie, and when I get a chance, I will try it again. But I don't think that's going to happen today because I just don't have the heart to try it again today and have another fail today. I want to do some more studying up on how to make a proper custard. That would help. I don't think I had enough egg also. some recipes called for 3 or 4 eggs. I only put in 2. And I'm pretty sure that would be an issue. So I'm going to research a little bit more on how to make a proper custard. That just goes to show you can't experiment in baking. Baking is precise. You got to be absolutely correct. And, yep, I failed. Gordon Ramsay would be so disappointed. So, anyway, I'm out. Thanks, guys.